I don't really consider myself a very superstitious person. The ritual is when you wake up on the first day of every month, before you look through the window and see the outdoors, you have to say rabbits, and that brings you luck for the month. As a kid, I would say I was probably a bit of a handful, certainly more interested in activity than I was in school. Played a lot of sports, enjoyed sports, swam competitively. Didn't get into hockey as much because swimming and badminton sort of overlapped with that season, but managed to punch my way through year after year. My business career really started with the Royal Bank back in the mid-60s. I was still at university, Waterloo Lutheran University, now Wilfrid Laurier. I worked with them for a number of years, mainly in Ontario, Toronto, but spent several months in international division in San Juan, Puerto Rico. After that, I got into the sports promotion public relations business and was sort of managing endorsements for people like Red Berenson, Nancy Green, Peter Burwash, even Deanie Petty. And I loved that job. The only issue with the job was it paid $9,500 a year. And so I was really in search of a better income, more than a destiny with real estate at the time. I started with Marathon Realty in 1972. After that, I worked with a company called York Hanover. Then after a brief time in the Prime Minister's office, and that was Prime Minister Joe Clark. And then in 1984, I started with Cadillac Fairview for what turned out to be the balance of my career.
Peter just knew how to get along with people, talk to people, and he put Cadillac into the #1 position of developers, where it came to being accepted as a developer on big or small deals.
I got a call from Charlie Bailey, who was the head of the TD Bank at that time. The bank had decided to sell their real estate holdings. That involved Toronto-Dominion Centre, Toronto Eaton Centre, Pacific Centre. Before we had even actually closed that deal, I got a call from Dan Sullivan, then at Scotia Capital, asking whether we'd be interested in buying Sherway Mall. So I said, well, of course we would be. I had spent in my first 6 months as CEO my 3-year allocation from teachers in terms of investment. I'm sure at teachers they must have thought, you know, my God, what kind of a monster have we put in place here? This guy is acquisition crazy.
Before he goes into a venture or any serious negotiation, he does his research on all the players, as I do, sometimes take a score sheet out and do the pluses and the minuses on a score sheet and see where we should improve the position or where we should change or where we should abandon the deal, whether it's worthwhile or not. But his key to it is communicating and researching any venture before he opens his mouth.
One of my favorite things is to, when we're getting into an acquisition, to get everybody to commit to what is the most you would absolutely be prepared to pay for this asset. And we try and get a number on the table, crazy number, but what is the absolute most we would ever pay for this? And that's a great thing to have as you get into the heat of the deal and get excited about owning the asset, to be able to pull out that piece of paper and say, this is what we said. One thing Cadillac has taught me over the years, it's all about quality of what you build, quality of architecture, quality of location. There are a lot of people who are approaching retirement. Just as I had great opportunity after the war when there was such growth and leadership positions at various levels in organizations. And because my timing was as it was, I was able to take advantage of that. There clearly was a lull period, but I think for those young, aspiring leaders of tomorrow who are in their 30s today, there's going to be lots of opportunity. My advice to those in the room building a career would be spend as much time as you can developing those personal relationships, because they will be the ones that make the difference.
Peter, I was the first to receive this honor from this fine organization in 1995. It's taken me since 95 to get you straightened away to get this honor. So good luck, and you've done a good job, and you're one of the most worthy of any for it. I'm deeply honored to have been asked to say a few nice words which weren't hard to find about you. Thank you, Peter, you're the greatest.
I am truly honored and humbled by this award, and my sincere thanks. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to NAIOP. May I wish all of you health, happiness, and continued success.